what is entry re-entry? Entry re-entry is consciously creating transition in order to support the reduction of nervous system overwhelm. This teaching came primarily from my previous experience with travel. And particularly in the earlier days of my business and leading in-person training retreats, the preparation to attend a training retreat, as well as the unpacking and re-arrival back home from a training retreat, were always massively fraught for me. I was aware that something was not as it best could be as I kind of hovered outside of myself and watched myself take hours to pack, with pretty much my entire closet spread out over my entire bed, as I really should have probably taken stock in plastic baggies for the number of them that I used to pack up all of the supplements and the powders and the potions and everything else that I really felt I needed with me in order to be able to be okay in the new place that I was going to. And then I would watch and witness myself as I came home, almost like I was a whirling dervish or that little devil cartoon, and unpacking like a freak as I also attempted to regain control of my environment that had been left in the hands of my sweetheart husband while I was gone. And wouldn't you know it, there was a spoon out of place and the washcloths weren't folded correctly. And why did he buy the wrong brand of almond milk? So again, had an awareness that this probably was not in my best service, but wasn't really sure how to work with it. Then my sweetheart husband and I went on a trip to Italy for our 10-year anniversary. And the trip was delightful in the same way as being at a training retreat in person was delightful. That trip was like a second honeymoon. And from the moment we got on the plane to travel there, and we were like sharing our headphones to watch the same movie and supporting each other with being able to sleep on the plane, and then just arriving and really enjoying Italy, and amazing. And then we came home. And immediately on the plane, there was a massive shift in energy. And my husband was like, I'm just going to watch these movies on my own. And proceeded to do that. 2, 3, I don't know how many movies he was able to watch on that long flight from Italy to New York. And I remember feeling like, just absolutely affronted and so offended and so deeply wounded and hurt. And then I proceeded to manage that by starting to immediately dive back into work on my phone using the plane Wi-Fi, which if anyone has tried to do that is not an easy thing to do. AKA defaulting to my coping mechanism of pushing. And then hours later, crying by myself in the airplane bathroom, AKA defaulting to a little touch of the coping mechanism of hiding, all to come back into New York in a sense of complete disconnect, complete disassociation, and overwhelm. So that really got my attention. And I took some time to process, along with some sweetheart husband, difficult conversations, and realized and came to understand that we were both dealing with separating ourselves from this amazing trip in our own ways. Yet it was not being done consciously. For myself, as a highly sensitive, where my husband is not highly sensitive, I recognized that I needed some things that were different than what he needed. And so I began to then recognize that there was a necessity to consciously create the transition space for myself going into a significant event like traveling to a training retreat or even traveling for vacation. And that in the same regard, I needed to consciously create also transition space coming back from a large event. And as I began to treat those transition times as an experience on their own, everything started to happen that much more smoothly, that much more effortlessly, and with that much more peace and experience.